Good afternoon, everyone. As founders of DSY, it's a thrill for Pam and I to kick off our 20th anniversary celebration. Before we go any further, we're going to take a look at those 2 decades of DSY, and I just want to say to Pam Lewis, it's so wonderful to be still doing this with you. Thank you.
I'm so glad to be here with you, Dr. Fulani. Round of applause, 20 years. Let's hear it.
So Pam and I want to begin our remarks by acknowledging and paying tribute to the co-founder of the All-Stars Project, the late Dr. Fred Newman, whose brilliance and commitment to growing the poor has made it possible for us to build some of the most creative and impactful youth programs in the country, and to whom the kids went to many, many years ago to request from Fred that they be helped to grow, to be able to better interface with the world, which produced the Development School for Youth. While called the Development School for Youth over the years, I have often thought of DSY also as a development school for donors who allow us to bring them up close and personal to the challenges of what it means to grow up of color and poor and in America, and who also allows themselves to be put in the position of learning from the experiences of our young people and their families. It is a remarkable story.
It sure is, Lenora. I still remember sitting at our offices on Greenwich Street with pen and pad, sketching out what this program was going to be. And I also remember vividly I had to learn how to put on a suit. I had never worn a suit before. The mission of the All-Stars is to transform the lives of youth in poor communities using the developmental power of performance in partnership with caring adults. That's all of you. Our kids need you and other professional people, wealthy people, accomplished people to reach out and say, let's grow together.
Pam and I are here to give you a snapshot of the DSY past, present, and future. It is a remarkable story and one that would not be possible without our partners in launching it. The man for whom this program is named, Joe Forgione. Now retired, Joe spent 20 years on Wall Street as a managing director for Merrill Lynch. He first met the All-Stars in 1994 at 66 and Broadway, and he's been an All-Star ever since. Like many of our early corporate donors, Joe was an enthusiastic supporter of our flagship program, the All-Stars Talent Show Network. When we began training young people to host the All-Stars Annual Gala and other events like this, Joe was among the business professionals who helped them develop their hosting performance. As it turned out, everyone really enjoyed spending time with each other, And as a result of that, we set about creating a program that would allow them to work together more often, our donors and our kids.
We met with Joe and told him we wanted to create a program that would introduce young people to the corporate world, that would give them a chance to participate in the broader culture, that would support them to perform in professional settings. And he agreed to help us create this new program. Joe and his colleagues began to host workshops at their offices, and from the beginning, paid internships were a very important piece of the DSY. I remember meeting with some of our partners and saying, we want you to take high school kids as interns. And they say, well, that's not our culture. And of course, Lenora Fulani would say, well, we need for you to change your culture. And many of you did, and thank you so much for that. We felt it was important that young people have a place where they could use what they had learned and really grow. Joe has been an incredible champion and partner along the way. Unfortunately, his health did not allow him to be here today, but he asked us to give his regards and deep thanks for your involvement.
Thank you, Pam. Thank you. Soon after DSY began, corporate partners began to come on board as workshop leaders, internship sponsors, program associates, and volunteers. They, and everyone involved, recognized that DSY offered a transformative and life-changing experience for both. This win-win model where everyone grows is one of the reasons we have continued to grow as a program and organization, even during the most unstable of economic times. We are deeply thankful for Joe and everyone who has stepped up over the last 2 decades. I saw Jim Burke earlier, and Nat Christian, and others. And we're deeply thankful to all of you who will make the next 20 years equally special. We're counting on you.
So before sharing more about where those next 20 years are taking us, we'd like to fill you in, especially those of you who are new to the Development School for Youth, on how the program works. So DSY is an outside-of-school program for inner-city youth ages 16 to 21. They're recruited from high schools and inner-city communities across the 5 boroughs through grassroots community organizing, the same way we met Joe. Once accepted, DSY students participate in 14 weeks of rigorous, high-level workshops led by corporate leaders and executives. These workshops are like scenes and plays. You know, after each workshop, we don't tell the kids what you did wrong, what you did right. We give them director's notes, just like a director in a play would do. So the kids are learning how to creatively perform their lives. Upon successfully completing the program, graduates are placed in 6-week paid summer internships where they continue to develop their leadership and professional skills. Since we began 20 years ago, 3,600 young people, or 99% of those involved in the program, have completed internships at over 400 companies. In 2015, DSY expanded substantially across the country as we launched the program in our 5th and 6th all-star cities, Dallas and Bridgeport, Connecticut. This year, with the support of hundreds of companies in New York, Newark, Chicago, Dallas, Connecticut, and the San Francisco Bay Area, 354 young people were placed in paid summer internships. 144 companies sponsored our DSY interns nationwide this summer, and 51 of those companies were brand new to the All-Stars.
We have also advanced the way we prepare the folks who supervise DSY interns at their companies. We created a formal performance-based training program for the supervisors. We also invested in conducting a post-internship survey to receive feedback from our corporate sponsors and supervisors and from young people on the effectiveness of this program.
In 2016, 92% of the supervisors rated their interns' performance as excellent or very good. 87% said the quality of the program was excellent or very good, and 90% said they would recommend DSY to friends and other companies. Young people were similarly enthusiastic. 78% said the internship was very valuable to them. Another 18% said it was valuable, a total of 96%. They reported learning a variety of skills, including time management, making presentations, Microsoft Office, maturity, prioritizing, and business acumen. Over the last decade, our corporate partners have integrated the program into key internal initiatives addressing diversity and inclusion, employee engagement, and corporate social responsibility. DSY has been featured in the Chicago Tribune as a model program in training and engaging high school-age minority students and preparing them for the business world. We were also featured in Forbes for the impact DSY is having in offering meaningful volunteer and involvement opportunities. One of the things I was thinking about today, when I saw all the beautiful alumni that are here, when Lenore and I first started this program, we would interview one student, just the two of us, sitting in a room. And Lenore would always look at them and say, "Why are you here?" Well, the kids have made a big statement. They were here to grow, and they've gone into your offices, into the corporations as partners with us, and have helped us lead and build this program. And I'm so proud of you all. Thank you so much for being here, alumni.
So there are many statements that all of you who have participated have made to our young people. To me, one of the biggest statements is that there's some place in this country and some place in this world for them. And that is overwhelming and extremely inspiring. This afternoon, in honor of our 20th anniversary, we have a very special treat. We have alumni representatives with us from every DSY class of the past 20 years. They are an impressive group of young women and men, and we want to show them a tremendous amount of love. However, hold your applause until they are all on stage, even if you recognize 7 of them.
All right, Lenora, so here we go. From the class of 1997, Brandon Woodfin, a housing specialist in New York City shelter system. From the class of 1998, Christopher Latham, founder of a marketing consulting company working with financial institutions. From the class of 1999, Marcus Donovan, an IT specialist at Hudson High School of Learning Technologies in Chelsea. From the class of 2000, Brianna McKenzie, a charge nurse and team supervisor for American Red Cross. From 2001, Loretta Martin, who studied business administration and now works at JFK Airport. 2002, Raymond Liang, a senior analyst at the Hospital for Special Surgery. Adeleke Sadie Bambouche, Deputy Director of the Sandy Emergency Relief Fund with New York City Department of Transportation. 2004, Victoria Lucas, who has a master's degree in organizational change management from the New School. 2004, Lindsay McKenzie, a graduate of Harvard Law School, now working as a corporate lawyer. 2005, Johnny Gideon, who's working at FedEx, pursuing an interest in acting. 2005, also Darcel Wynn, who works in marketing at Estee Lauder and is returning to school to study digital information technology. From the class of 2006, Lulaine Compere, an AVP at a New Jersey hedge fund. 2007, Leonard Cyrus, a graduate of Queens College who owns his own business. Adeoli Sadie Bambuse, Adeola, 2008. He is working to complete his master's degree in public administration. From 2009, Sinead Duncan, the executive assistant at Mount Sinai Hospital Department of Neurosurgery. 2010, George Pedraza, graduate of Queens College with a degree in drama theater. 2001, Denise Bernard, an audit risk and compliance analyst at AIG. See, they asked me to read these names because otherwise I'd be walking through hugging every one of them. But I have to stand here and read these names, so I'll keep at it. You guys look fantastic. I love you so much. From the class of 2012, Janae Banal, now working as a homemade attendant. From the class of 2013, Jenna Tsai, who interned at Ernst & Young and is now studying finance at Baruch College. 2014, Kennedy Jimenez, a junior at Baruch College, studying quantitative modeling and statistics. From the class of 2015, Tanya Edmond, who completed her DSY internship at MedLife, is now studying nursing at York College in Queens. And finally, from the class of 2016, Daniel Chan, a junior at NYU, studying computer science. Now, please give them all a big round of applause.
Good afternoon. Thank you, everyone, for being here. My name is Brennan Woodfin, and I was in the very first class of DSY in 1997. I was born and raised in Brownsville and Bedford-Stuyvesant, Brooklyn during the 1980s crack era and then later in the 1990s gang era. I now live in the hub section of the Bronx and recently turned 36 years old. I've been in the human services field for over 15 years now. I work as a housing specialist in the New York City shelter system and hope to become a fraud investigator and one day build my own nonprofit organization. I'm also a poet, writer, internet radio host, and producer. I was introduced to the DSY program at the age of 17 through an assembly in my school auditorium at Erasmus Hall High School. I decided to apply because I thought it was actually a trick. I did not believe that they were willing to take young men and women like us to the places where they said we could go. In the DSY program, I grew away from the street, I had some place to be, and I grew hungry for more knowledge. I grew into an artist, a better student. I learned that school was more than just about education. It was also about learning cultures, communication, and how to build connections. I also learned that everyone has something to offer. DSY and All-Stars have had a huge impact on my personal and professional life. I was able to begin my career in the arts through All-Stars, and I still work with people I met here. Some of them have become my closest and most trusted friends. I have continued to grow personally and professionally with help from DSY and the connections I've made here. I really appreciate it, and I hope that many others will be afforded that same opportunity. Thank you so much for having me.
Good afternoon. My name's Lulaine Compare. I usually go by Lou. I graduated DSY 10 years ago. I was born and raised in Crown Heights, Brooklyn, product of a single-parent household. Currently, I'm an assistant vice president at a New Jersey-based hedge fund. And by nights and weekends, I'm a freelance journalist. So I joined DSY in 2006 when I was 19 years old. I was already in college. I had a job working to pay for school, and I was already involved in other extracurricular activities. So you may be wondering why a person like me would join DSY, and it's because of the opportunities were too good to pass up that the program offered. During my internship at Source Media, I was exposed to a different world, a world that operated at a very high level with new terminologies, new keywords that I wasn't familiar with, but I grew to become familiar with because of the skills that DSY presented me. Because of DSY, I have a sense of fearlessness now and calm in unknown environments because of that experience. Two of the skills that took with me from the DSY internship were the confidence and insight. So the confidence in the skills that the DSY brought out of me to adapt and adjust to a new world, and the insight that the internship provided me in looking into a new world and seeing how it operates. That is why I felt obligated to come and speak today and urge you to continue the tradition of giving kids insight into a different world and helping them build the confidence to know that they'll be able to adjust and adapt to a different world. So, thank you.
Good afternoon to all. My name is Denise Bernard, and I completed the DSY 5 years ago. I'm an audit, risk, and compliance analyst at AIG. I'm 24 years old and currently reside in Flatbush, Brooklyn. I'm the daughter of 2 Dominican immigrants and was born and raised in Washington Heights. As a high school senior, my friend told me about a program called the Development School for Youth. She had just graduated high school and the DSY program. I was about to begin a summer internship at a law firm. Curiosity got the best of me, and I applied. At 18, I was a freshman in Manhattan College, and I was also a student at the Development School for Youth. At school, my professors taught me about literature, economics, and statistics, while the DSY taught me how to interact with new people, speak in public, and respect different opinions. College provided me with the knowledge to have a conversation. The DSY gave me the confidence to begin that conversation. My DSY internship was at AIG, and it was incredible. I learned how to navigate corporate America and network with business professionals. I was amazed at how many doors a simple conversation opened. Through the development I received at the DSY and being proactive, I was offered the opportunity to work part-time during my sophomore year in college. By junior year, I had applied for AIG's Summer Analyst Program and spent 2 summers learning and growing in different areas of IT and finance. In the spring of 2015, I had graduated with a bachelor's in Computer Information Systems and was hired by AIG to lead the DSY Summer Internship Program. We had 27 DSY interns that summer. It was long hours and endless questions from the interns, but it was the most gratifying summer I have had to date. On January 11, 2016, I became a full-time analyst at AIG. I'm currently studying for the Certified Information Systems Security Professional, or CISSP certification, and will be pursuing a master's degree. As I stand here today, I am so proud of my past, present, and future alum for our willingness to say yes. Yes to development, yes to personal growth, and yes to paying it forward. Thank you.
Thank you to Brannon, Lulaine, and Denise, and thank you to all of you. I'm looking at you, and I'm looking out here, and I see everyone with hard hats on. We are all the builders of the DSY. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you so much. These young people look so beautiful, and a lot of them are not so young anymore. So one more time, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the alumni, 20 years of the Development School for Youth.